This episode was absolutely adorable, okay? Even though it aired a few weeks ago, I still love it just as much as I did then. It's a really important point in the series, and you'll see why by the time this review is done. So let's get started, why don't we?
So what crazy thing are the Crusaders going to try and do to unblank their flanks this time?
Cutie Mark Crusaders musical episode!
Oh, okay.
So as the Cutie Mark Crusaders encourage themselves to come up with more ideas on how to get their cutie marks, even though they actually didn't try a lot of things in the first place, they come up with a cute little song.
We'll make our mark, one way or another we'll make our...
This isn't a particularly great song, but it does set a nice, cute, upbeat tone for the episode. And for how short it is, I don't think it's really meant to do anything more than that.
our cutie marks.
Pipsqueak runs in, asking the Cutie Mark Crusaders to be his campaign managers, since he's running for student pony president of the school. They agree and it cuts to the theme song.
So Pip starts talking about how he wants to fix the playground if he gets elected for school president. But then Diamond Tiara comes in and starts making competition. This leads the Cutie Mark Crusaders to start singing a campaign song for Pip.
For a new leader, it's time to make a change. We're here to fight for what
With an instrumental that sounds surprisingly similar to Hearts as Strong as Horses.
and play a better game. 'Cause when we vote together, there's nothing.
And then Diamond Tiara comes in and... Whoa, Whiplash!
I don't believe what I am hearing.
It sounds like a completely different song.
And I love it! They really make her seem evil here.
Every pony has their little secret.
I do really like Diamond Tiara's parts of the song, probably more than I do the Crusaders. The lyrics are more interesting and actually have Diamond Tiara blackmail the other ponies by threatening to reveal their secrets if they don't vote for her.
I like the Super Pony Strength pony design. She is pretty.
Or those freakish large teeth in your face.
But wait, he's a horse. They have big teeth by default.
Pipsqueak, try Pipsqueak.
That being said, I really don't like how Diamond Tiara's part of the song sounds completely different from the CMC's. In other duets, like Find a Pet and Stop the Bats, the two characters had slightly different sounding music, but it still felt like both pieces were part of the same song. Here though, if I played both these parts to someone who didn't know the show, they would think they were from two completely different songs, which doesn't make for a good listening experience, because just when you start getting into one of the songs, it switches to the other.
I actually enjoy it. They do have a little bit of a cascade between the two anyway. They don't just automatically flop into the next song.
Vote together, there's nothing.
Everybody do the flop!
I don't believe what
While it is possible to enjoy both songs, I don't think it's good songwriting to just segue between two completely different songs instead of trying to write one big one. And this is coming from someone who does enjoy the scene, even if the song itself is a bit clunky.
I don't agree, but the song continues as a back and forth brawl between the two, and Diamond Tiara straight up disses Silver Spoon.
I don't recall asking you to speak. It's time for a new leader.
The song finishes off, and by the end, I really don't think the CMC got to get in many good lyrics. Diamond Tiara talked about a lot of tangible stuff like her money and her threat to the other students, but the CMC just said generic phrases about wanting change and playing a better game and ending tyranny.
We're here to fight for what we believe. You've gotta vote for change and all the tyranny. When we vote together, there's nothing that we can't achieve.
So as Diamond Tiara rages about not winning the election, I think my favorite part about this scene is how done Miss Cheerily looks with Diamond. Like, she's just been through so much with Diamond Tiara that she's just stopped caring. She's absolutely done.
The student pony president is Pipsqueak.
Okay, Pip won, the main conflict's been solved, episode over!
My little pony.
No! What are you talking about? We still got a good 15 minutes on our hooves. Slow down there, sir.
But it feels like that's where the episode was going to end. When I first watched the episode, I assumed that the main conflict of the story would be them trying to win the election, because that's what was brought up right at the beginning. But no, that gets solved 7 minutes in. So whatever the actual conflict of this episode is, took way too long to start up. Most other MLP episodes get to the main problem as fast as possible. This one waits 7 minutes.
Which is a nice change, by the way. Silver Spoon burns Diamond Tiara. Definitely payback for that diss earlier, and Diamond Tiara storms off as angrily as ever.
The CMC decide to go see what's up with Diamond Tiara. They find her mother scolding her for not being snooty and rich enough.
I love the way that she says her name.
Don't ever forget that diamond tiara.
Like, Diamond Tiara? It's perfect. Anywho, a song begins and Diamond Tiara sings about her life.
If I'm a diamond, then why do I feel
so rough.
So now we have what I think is the first song from Season 5 to really do its job well. Diamond Tiara sings about her sadness and does it while making diamond puns.
Why do I feel so rough? I'm as strong as a stone. There's something jagged in me. I thought that diamonds were hard, though I feel I could break.
And as ponies with the last name Diamond, we sincerely appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We also learned that, because she was always told what to be by her parents, Diamond Tiara never got a chance to figure out who she is or how to get there.
Would you believe?
Diamond Tiara got songs instead of pipes! This was all around a great song. It revealed some character depth that we hadn't seen of Diamond before. Generally, I just kind of thought she was a spoiled brat, and now that this song is here, that definitely changes that opinion.
I've been told my whole life.
The music also does a nice job setting the tone, with some pretty pianos and strings to set the sad, empty mood. This does feel like the song that someone would sing after something bad happened to them, and they just needed to mope about it and reflect on their problems.
I also really enjoy the layering that Diamond Tiara has as the song goes on.
Would you believe that I've always wished I could be some pony else? To be the pony I wanna be.
Who stops? Who stops when they're finishing their sentence? Nobody just sings when they're walking away and then just out of nowhere stops for a single line of dialogue. There is talking and walking, Diamond Tiara. Get with the program. It's 2015. Get with it.
Is it weird that I feel bad for her?
Maybe? Okay, let's talk about this. So earlier on in the episode, we saw Diamond Tiara get dissed by Silver Spoon and then walk away, and the CMC feels sympathy for her, which I don't think is very realistic, at least not here. This character has spent 5 seasons being nothing but an aggressive snot to everyone around her, going so far as to mock Granny Smith for her old age and Scootaloo for her disabled wings. She's only ever been a monster, and that's all the CMC know about her. So when Silver Spoon finally calls her out, the reaction a kid would actually have isn't, wow, I feel sorry for her all of a sudden. No, their actual reaction will be, well, it serves her right. Maybe now she'll think before she acts mean again.
Well, this is a kids show and we gotta give the right message.
I honestly think this episode could have worked even if the CMC didn't immediately sympathize with Diamond Tiara. We could play it like this. Diamond Tiara gets dissed and storms off angrily, while the CMC congratulate Pip and celebrate his victory with the other students. Then, as they're walking home, they see Diamond Tiara getting scolded and singing about her sadness. At this point, they'd realize that Diamond Tiara is acting this way because she doesn't know what else to do, and that she would change if she knew how. Then, they decide to bring her to the clubhouse, and the rest of the episode could go on normally.
Well, too late for complaining now unless you want to go to the writers and complain about their writing, but let's just keep going, why don't we? Diamond Tiara comes to the clubhouse with the CMC and seems to be hinting at her having no idea who in the world she's supposed to be. Oh, sorry. Did I say hinting? I meant shoving it in our faces!
Speaking of faces, Diamond Tiara's faces in this scene are just the perfect portrayal of exaggerated smugness. She's trying as hard as possible to look stuck up, but it's so exaggerated you know she's faking.
And it's incredible. So, Pip comes back to the Kingdom Hearts Crusaders, telling them about how the school board did not approve his request for the new playground.
Why not?
There's no money in the budget!
Oh, I get it. This episode is supposed to be a social commentary on how schools are struggling to give the students a good experience when state governments decide to cut the budgets, all the while being put at risk by politicians running for government whose initials are DT.
Too true! All too true!
Diamond Tiara decides to use this budget problem as an opportunity to get Pip kicked out of office. And then we get my least favorite song of the episode. This song is supposed to accent a suspenseful chase scene.
Cutie mark Crusaders, get out of my way.
Right, because those quiet, dainty little string instruments and minimal, energyless drums really make for a dramatic chase.
They have energy. Or at least I think they do, but whatever.
At the very least, the song gets a bit more energy as it goes on.
You don't even know me at all. Don't understand the meaning of my fall.
The meaning of my fall? What in Equestria is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, don't ask me.
I'm a diamond, that means you never break.
You can cut diamonds. What are you talking about? What kind of crazy messed up dimension do you live in?
We know you want friends who will.
The CMC burst into the song and make a really pleasant sounding change up in the music. They tell Diamond Tiara that if she wants people to admire her, she should be nice and not mean. I like this part a lot more than the first part. The instrumentation sounds a lot more complete, and the uplifting energy really takes the song in a new direction. I also like this backwards gallop animation that the CMC do.
Diamond Tiara turns down a darker path and goes to the school. She ends up disobeying her mother, who happened to be there for a school board meeting, and got her father to donate the money for the new playground. And this is where things get amazing!
But before we can get to that, can I talk about Diamond Tiara turning good? It feels so fast, like the CMC only ever had to give her one rousing speech in musical number form before she was completely turned over to the side of good. For someone with a mean streak stretching out for 5 seasons, you would think they need a lot longer to break through to her. As in, you could have easily made an entire 22-minute episode just about the CMC helping Diamond Tiara to not be mean, and the pacing will probably feel more natural.
It's not completely uncommon for ponies to make a good decision in a flash. Don't forget, these are little kids. Kinda. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Still, maybe if they'd spent a bit more time on it, it would have left a bit more impact. But you can't really do that when you start the conflict 7 minutes in now, can you?
Whatever!
Hey, if nothing else, I really like the happy-sounding reprise of Diamond Tiara's sad song. It's nice that they got the same melody to fit 2 different emotions.
True. So, the episode ends with the Cutie Mark Crusaders deciding that, instead of focusing on their cutie marks, they're going to focus on helping other ponies find theirs. Then, guess what? Okay, you just know that them getting their cutie marks is going to be important. You just know. I imagine that later on in the series, when the main 6 can't figure out a problem, they may have to go and contact the CMC because they're good at helping ponies.
Oh really? That's what you think? Oh no! Our team can't solve the problem, even though it has a powerful alicorn princess and 5 other royal advisors in it. What do we do? Call in the 9-year-olds! As great as it is that the CMC got their cutie marks, I think it should go without saying that this should have happened way earlier than it did. If this were a Season 3 episode, I don't think anyone would complain, because the writers barely make use of the whole trying to get their cutie marks concept. The best CMC episodes so far have usually been the ones where they aren't spending most of the episode fretting about their cutie marks. So I'm glad they ripped this band-aid off at all, although it would have been nice if it wasn't already days old and soaked with so much bathwater that it was about to fall out anyway.
That is the weirdest analogy that I have ever... You know what? I'm not even going to finish my sentence. I think those first 7 words speak enough.
No you didn't. Like, I'm looking at them right now. They each have different symbols in them. If you 3 really did get the same cutie mark, then Starlight Glimmer is afoot, and we need to call Twilight right now.
They're close enough, Cobalt! Let them have their moment!
We'll make our mark. Show the
To finish this episode off, we get a gloriously happy reprise of the song from the beginning of the episode.
And that's the end! It's so satisfying! Not!
of your cutie mark.
You can't tell me that isn't foreshadowing! They're important, you cannot tell me otherwise! No! They are precious babies, and they're important! 2K15 protect 24/7!
I think the most heartwarming thing about this scene is when the main 6 come in.
I'm so proud of you, little buddy.
Also, what is it with this season and making Rainbow Dash sing?
You've made your mark.
This song is the perfect soundtrack for a very happy, uplifting ending for the episode, and by extension, the CMC's story about their cutie marks. But I have to question this montage here.
We started out just
I love how they felt the need to insert that awful showstopper song into the middle of this touching montage of memories with the CMC.
We are the Cutie Mark Crusaders.
Ah yes, remember that time when we made everyone's ears bleed with our off-key singing? Man, those were the days. Good times. Good times.
Jeez, Cobalt, why you gotta be so rude? But anyway, my thoughts on the episode. All around, I loved this episode. I loved the songs, I loved the plot development, the character development, and in general, it was just a spectacular episode. I still fangirl over it 2 weeks later, and if I go back and watch this at some other point, I will love it just the same. I would give it a 5 out of 5.
This was just the weirdest episode, man. The story is all over the place, jumping here and there and everywhere, all in the span of one afternoon. The setup for this episode lasts unusually long, and then it has Diamond Tiara go from bully to beautiful in a heartbeat. I'll say this, it's quite a spectacle, and it was adorable! This was definitely a treat to watch, and it was definitely a fun way to finally give the CMC their cutie marks. But still, there were some parts that I think could have been handled better. I don't think the CMC's feeling sorry for Diamond Tiara was handled very naturally, and I do think the episode structure was a little strange. But on the flip side, both Diamond Tiara's sad song and the ending are the closest we've gotten to truly great musical numbers from Season 5. As enjoyable as this was, I give it a 3 out of 5. It was fun, but the writing did get shaky at points, and I can't say I think this was as good a musical episode as either Pinkie Pride or Magical Mystery Cure.
But anyway, thank you, one and all for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one. Adios!
Trying to find out how we fit in
us to mark. It's a place for us to start.
An adventure that has